Hey guys, you're watching the Gregorio Girls and Makeup channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin and I run this beauty channel with my sister Shauna. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. We love you. So today's video is going to be my second video in this video series that I'm collaborating with QC Makeup Academy on. Collaborating on with QC Makeup Academy? I think that's how you say it. Either way, this is the second one. If you did not watch my last video on this, I would recommend going back and watching my video called Why I Chose QC Makeup Academy, just because it'll give you a better idea about kind of everything I'm talking about in this video. So I have started to dive into the skincare course and kind of go through the materials and do some reading and taking some notes and things like that. So first off, I guess I just want to show you guys kind of what the course is made up of and what we're working with here. So here are all of my course books right here. So this black and white guy right here is kind of like your workbook. So in here is where you're gonna find general information about the course, like contact information. It's got all of your checklists for each unit. So yeah, like you can see right here, this is the Unit A checklist. It's got all your readings, all your assignments. And then we've got all of the actual course books here. So you can see these are printed in nice glossy photos, glossy color. So each of these books correlates with a unit. So it'll be like a book or two per unit. So there are 5 total units. It's Unit A through E in this particular course and 7 of these course books. So like I said, a book, maybe 2. They kind of vary in thickness, but for the most part, they're about the same length. So you'll have a book or 2 per unit that you'll have to read through. And then from there, your assignments are pretty much based off of your readings. So my first impressions of this course so far, I like it. As I've mentioned before, I did go through the QC Makeup Academy Master Makeup Artistry program, which was a little bit more extensive than this, a little bit more in depth, but the structure is the same. You have your textbooks, you have your checklist of assignments, you have the order in which you're suggested to do them. I would definitely suggest following that order because why wouldn't you? But I really do like the structure and the way that things are broken out. I feel like it's pretty comprehensive to the way that I like to learn. So with that being said, this month I've been able to dive into the first couple of readings and the first couple of assignments in Unit A. So there are 2 textbooks, 2 like little sections here that are involved in Unit A. The first one is Introduction to Skincare, and then the second one is Skin Anatomy and Skin Types. So the way that I personally like to go through and absorb the information is that I will open the textbook, start reading, and I always love, whenever I read anything, whether it's like a book on business or a book on makeup or whatever it is, whenever I'm learning something, I always like to have a highlighter with me. So you can see here, as I was reading through, I highlighted things that I thought were kind of just like the most important takeaways from that page or that paragraph or whatever. I do that through the whole book, and then I actually like to go back through after I've read the whole thing a second time, and then based off of the information I've highlighted, I like to take notes. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of notes, and I am like the kind of person that likes to take notes basically word for word so that they stick in my brain. I'm not like a summarizer. I'm a very detail-oriented person. So going through the book once and highlighting the important details and then going back and actually writing them down really helps me to get the information to actually stick in my brain versus just like glossing over it one time and then kind of forgetting everything that I read. You know what I mean? So if you're like me, that's how I would recommend doing it. If you're not, do what works for you. So I just want to take a couple minutes and just point out some interesting things that I've learned so far in this course. So diving into this first textbook here, it really does give you an introduction to skincare. It takes you through the history of skincare, it takes you through career opportunities, it takes you through different skincare regimens and practices based on different parts of the world, which I found was so interesting. So it really just kind of gets the juices flowing about everything that kind of goes into a skincare routine, skincare products, where it all came from, and why we as human beings practice it. For example, history of skincare. Did you guys know that the Romans were responsible for creating some of the first face masks? Who doesn't love a good face mask? We all do. But it says here that they created them by mixing a variety of ingredients, and these ingredients included anything from lupine and barley plants to placenta and animal urine. So I just have to say, like, when I read that, I was like, wait, what? Like, the ancient Romans are putting what on their faces? But it was used, all of these things were used as remedies for things like pimples, wrinkles, things like that. So even back then, they were targeting a lot of the same skincare concerns that we have now. Another thing that I found was really interesting was the breakdown of the different skincare routines in different parts of the world. For example, I live in America, and what the book said about that was so true. Like, we really love that, like, sun-kissed, like, bronzy glow year-round. Like, even in the dead of winter, we're all putting bronzer all over our faces. So things like bronzer and self-tanning products are more popular in North America. And then if you look at places like Korea, they have really extensive skincare routines, which I like kind of knew, but I like didn't really know the extent to which. But according to the book, they could be anywhere from 10 to 12, even more steps, like products in their routine, because they take it that seriously. And because they take it that seriously, like, nobody really skimps on it. Like, I skimp on my like 3 to 4 step skincare routine all the time, admittedly. I cannot imagine a 10 to 12 step skincare routine, but over there, that's the norm. So I just found it really interesting to learn about those different kinds of things, where it came from, what different ancient cultures were doing and how it developed, and then what it's kind of evolved into in our modern cultures around the world today. So pretty cool. And then one last really important like tidbit that I would like to mention in this video is that when you're looking at the different career opportunities involving skincare, there are a few different ways you can go, right? As with anything. So you could work for a skincare brand and go to places like Sephora and Ulta, where they sell different brands like that, and be a representative for that skincare brand. You can also obviously pursue the career path of a dermatologist or an esthetician or anything like that. Those obviously require a lot more schooling. So I do want to make the point that this course is like not meant to replace like getting an aesthetics license or obviously a doctorate in dermatology or anything like that. Where I really see the value in this course is as somebody that's a makeup artist, where you're not an esthetician, you're not a dermatologist, but you are working with people's faces and therefore by default working with people's skin. You really do want to know how the products that they're using underneath the makeup are, and their skin, their actual skin, like their skin type that you're putting the makeup on top of. You want to know how those things will react with different types of makeup, the things that might irritate it, the things that might soothe it, because your clients are going to look to you to be informed on those types of things, even though you're not necessarily performing skincare or facials or anything on them. You're working on their face, so they're going to ask you about their face. So as someone that does work on clients and does get a lot of questions about makeup and skincare and all those things, just by nature of what I do and the information that I put out there, I think that having this foundational knowledge of the way that different skin types work, how to recognize them, the way different products work together, what the different products do, all those types of things are only going to make you a stronger makeup artist, because you can recognize how the whole package works together. And they do go over that and make that information very clear in the introduction to skincare textbook as well. So I appreciated that. I really do think that it's important to kind of know what your options are and know what you need to get and what to do to get to where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Good. So that is where I'm at so far in the course. That's what I've learned so far. Those were some of my main takeaways. Obviously, there's much more information in these textbooks than I can talk about in a video, because it would be a very long video. But I hope that gave you guys a little bit of insight into how the course kind of breaks down and how the course starts out. And ultimately, I just hope that this information is helpful to those of you that are considering QC Makeup Academy in any way, shape, or form, or maybe specifically this course. So that is going to be it for today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the Gregorio Girls Makeup channel down below, and I will catch you guys in the next Gregorio Girls video. Mwah! Love you. Bye.